Hi, it's Jamie with Jamie's Arts a la Cartes. Thank you very much for joining me. I have a fun project planned for us today. I hope this video inspires you to create something of your own. If you would, hit the like button and share the video with your friends. That helps me to grow this channel and to continue to bring you new projects. If you haven't subscribed yet, would you please consider subscribing? And if you have, thank you very much. Well, we have a lot to do, so let's get to it. Hi, it's Jamie with Jamie's Arts a la Cartes. Thank you so much for joining me. I have another idea as we head into our 250th birthday celebration. They're originally called locker pockets, but I have seen where you can put them on file cabinets, on your fridge. Great for notes or little flowers, whatever you want to put in there. So we're going to make a few with the whole red, white, and blue kind of theme. So I've got the magnets that go on the back. I'll have to get out the E6000, but I do have some fabric glue because I've got my crushed velour, a blue and a gold out. I've got some leftover drills. I've got some Mardi Gras beads. I've got some trim. I even have a sequin headband that we are going to use in a different way. So I like to save my little plastic lids because I draw my pattern on there. I can cut it out and then I can just really trace it. It just is a real easy way to make something I can use over and over. I think what we'll do is we'll trim these down. You can see they're real jeans, but you basically just trim them right there at the edge and they'll be fine. They're not going to ravel past that. So let's go ahead and we'll get all the little loose strings off. And these are just pockets off of jeans.
Force, a 100% US-built fiber broadband network. Spectrum is America's connectivity company.
Alright, I got my stars drawn on, the ones I'm going to draw them on, and then cut out for the others. But one thing I did is I just took an old plastic grocery bag, cut it into little squares, and I'm just putting it inside so that I don't glue my front to my back. And just something like that. Set it clean, brought it right back out. Alright, so I'll be using drills on these, and I do want to make sure that I get the whole edge because I'll probably be decorating around the edge. I'm going to begin by, and I've got extras if I end up needing them, but I'm going to end up gluing, and I've got to put some in here and there. So I need to cut. I just take these bags and I keep them and use them in all kinds of ways. It's the best of recycling, right? Oh, I got some here too. Let's see, do I need to cut more? Let's see. I'm just sliding them down to the bottom. Our glitter is all dry, and so now I want to go to the next step, which will be adding decorations, and I'm going to try using the E6000 to attach it. I do have needle and thread out just in case, but I got some clamps out in case I need it, so we'll just see how this works. Again, haven't done anything quite like this, similar, but not quite this manner. Ooh, nothing like a new tube of E6000. All right, so and then you got to kind of pull that back up so it doesn't, because it wants to just keep on coming out. So let's put this here, and then let's see if we can align it exactly where it meets. And that'll work out just right. So we'll keep making sure it stays in place and pressing it down so it sort of acts like grout between those little beads. Something like that. Now I wonder if these other ones would work better. Let's see. Well, that might work. How about that? straight. I think that's good. All right. Here. And this has got tape on it. Let's get that off. And then start in here. It wants to curl up, so I gotta hold it. Okay, and just give a line down the middle, cap it. I want the red to go on top. And something like that. And then let's go ahead and get these put on here so they can start grabbing. And we will use our drills to decorate our stars in here. But since we got the E6000 out and going, let's go ahead and just do this. Here. And one over here. Everything else looks like it's sitting right on it. If this ends up looking like it has glue coming through, then we can always add the baker's twine. Okay. All right. There we are. Our locker pockets are coming along. I like that idea. I made them look woven, but they're not. How about that? All right. All right, drying time. How about that? Those are going to be too cute. All right, these are on there good. I'm going to give this a little trim, and then we're going to start seeing how we want to add our little drills onto the front of these. And then it'll be pick and place for a whole bunch of these. So I do have my trays. So go ahead and get my trays going, set up, and I'll go. Alright, I'm going to sprinkle my little sequins among my stars. I'm going to start there and then we'll come back and fill everything in. But I want to start there just to give a little bit of interest. So alright, these are dry, but I'm going to pause and I'm going to go ahead and glue on the magnets so they can dry today while I'm at work, and then I can come back and work on the backs a little bit more when I get home and they'll be dry. So let's go ahead and get us some button magnets put on. Give them a good press, make sure that the glue is in the fabric well and around, and I see just a little bit coming out the edge, which is just fine. That way I know I've got it in there well. Okay, we'll just let them dry. All right, these are all dry. All the magnet pieces are dry. These up here are dry. I'm going to add what I'm going to call the stripes. I'm just going to make like a line of red, white, and blue on these. It may be the same on these. We'll just have to see. All right, I'm glad I did that and gave that plenty of time to dry. I'm going to finish this red out here, and then these are done and dry. Need to work on these three and then start stripes. Ooh, we're making progress, y'all. Alright, here they are. They're all dry. I can take the plastics out. That's what kept one side from gluing to the other side. Just pitch those. They serve their purpose. They're all different. Same but different. The glue stuck just a little bit to this plastic. That's why we put it in there. So that worked out just right. But there we go. Pocket with our magnets. All right, let's see. All right, here's this one. Remember, this was like a sweatband that I was able to cut and reuse. So that one turned out super cute. This is the white glitter. This is the least of my favorites, right? Because I like the red and the blue much better. The red is actually my favorite. But, I mean, it's still cute. But it's not my preference, right? So if I did this project again, I would not use that white, opaque kind of glitter. And that one's super cute. With the white here. Kind of like how that turned out. And here's the other half of that headband. Alright, well, I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you have, please like it. Share it with your friends. If you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, would you please consider subscribing? And well, until next time, happy crafting. I'm going to bring you in. I turned them all this way. I'll bring you in and I'll give you some close-ups. And then I think I'm going to stick them on my fridge, right? Because I'm going to give some away. And they'll be on file cabinets, right? Anything metal, these will stick to. But I'm going to stick them in my fridge just so you can get an idea of what they look like hanging up. And you can put all kinds of things in here. You know, you could put flowers in here. You could put notes in here. You could put, you know, some light tools. You know, if you want to put, you know, if you have a file cabinet in your home office where you work, you know, you could put any of these kind of things and then let it stand up for you. So very versatile, how, you know, the ways that you can use these little pockets. All right, well, I hope you've enjoyed this video, and if you have, again, please like and share. And well, until next time, I have one more fun 4th of July project, and I'll bring that to you next time. All right, enjoy, y'all.